Hello and welcome to TTV News, some latest events in TayNinhTV province. Ladies and gentlemen, 174 reports with 8,700 participants attended the dissemination conference, introducing the core content and values of the work, resolutely, persistently fighting against corruption and negativity, contributing to building our party and state more and more clean and strong by General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. Took place in the morning of August 10. Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Provincial Committee, and Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, presided over the conference.
According to Deputy Head of the Central Committee for Internal Affairs Nguyễn Thái Học, the book has a very deep meaning in the context that the fight against corruption and negativity in Vietnam is currently being directed by our party aggressively and drastically, becoming an uncompromising war not allowed to falter, nor fatigue, and have achieved comprehensive and positive results. It is structured into reports, some issues drawn from the reality of the fight against corruption and negativity in Vietnam, consistent motto, prevent corruption, negativity early, remote, both tops and roads. Above and below unanimously, horizontally, smoothly. It has more than 600 pages and 111 photographs, some of which were first published. The book expresses the consistent talk of the head of our party on the fight against corruption, negativity, building and correcting the party, moral training, lifestyle of party cadres and members. On August 9, the Central Committee for Propaganda and Training conducted a survey on the implementation of poor information reduction in 2022-2023 in the TayNinhTV province. During the meeting, the delegation was very impressed with the good ways and effective promotion of communication techniques for the province propaganda. Press agencies such as TayNinhT Radio and Television, TayNinhT Newspaper, in addition to promoting traditional information channels, also expand propaganda channels through developing apps, building propaganda channels on social networking platforms. The province also focuses on building, developing, and perfecting question and answer applications, providing online information. The province has also established 493 community digital technology teams at the commune, hamlet, quarter level, with 2,500 participants, guide and support people to use digital services, public services, and interact with authorities through digital platforms. Ms. Nguyễn Thị Deputy Head of the Propaganda Department, Central Committee for Propaganda and Training, acknowledged and praised the province's good practices in implementing the task of reducing information poverty to help people access necessary information from official channels, limiting the situation of straying among the immensity of information, especially in cyberspace.
The audience in the morning of August 10, the Association of Wisdom of Agent Orange, the auctions in TayNinhTV province, have a meeting to commemorate the 62nd anniversary of the Agent Orange disaster in Vietnam. Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, attended the meeting.
TayNinhT is one of 8 provinces, which was the most heavily sprayed. According to a survey in 2012, the total number of victims of Agent Orange in the province was 9,064, with many generations of pain, in which there are more than 200 households with from 3 to 6 victims. From 2005 to June 2023, Agent Orange Dowsing Victims Associations in the province have mobilized organizations and individuals inside and outside the province to donate nearly 91 billion Vietnam dong to implement care programs to help victims and their families. At the meeting, the program presented gifts to 20 victims under the policy representing nearly 2,000 victims of the province who were directly infected. At the same time, the program also gave 30 gifts to typical victims of the second and third generations who are affected but have made many efforts to rise in life. On the occasion of the meeting, the Association of Victims of Agent Orange Dowsing in TayNinhT province launched and called for officials, members, agencies, units, organizations, and individuals to participate in the messaging program to help the Agent Orange Victims Fund by texting Yakam to 1409. A successful message contributes 20,000 Vietnam dong to the fund. In the afternoon of August 10, the Provincial Traffic Safety Committee held a preliminary conference on ensuring traffic order and safety in the first 6 months and implementing tasks in the third quarter of 2023 in the province. According to the Provincial Traffic Safety Committee, in the first 6 months, functional forces organized more than 26,300 patrol shifts, made 19,840 minutes, issued decisions to sanction 15,902 cases. Among them, the most numerous are alcohol content and speed violations. Between December 15, 2022 and June 14, 2023, across the province, there were 53 incidents, killing 29 people and injuring 26. Speaking at the conclusion of the conference, Mr. Nguyễn Tấn Tài, Director of the Department of Transport, Deputy Head of the Provincial Traffic Safety Standing Committee, asked local functional forces to strengthen patrol and control on the roads, review on traffic inadequacies on the national highway, provincial and urban roads, especially black spots and potential traffic safety spots, continue to strengthen the state management of transport business units. In July 2023, the care and planting of new plantations, rotation assignment, and regenerative farming will be implemented quite well by forest owners in the province, limiting deforestation, illegal logging, and forest products. Specifically, the units began to implement the plan to take care of plantation forests with an area of more than 553 hectares. For forest protection and natural regeneration farming, the province currently has 58,330 hectares of forest, of which natural forest is 45,385 hectares, plantation forest is 12,461 hectares. This entire forest area is assigned to organizations, groups of households to protect and prevent forest fires. The area zoned for natural regeneration in 2022 is 1,198 hectares of forest. Along with that, the exploitation of forest products is estimated to reach more than 30,305 cubic meters by July. The output of good and firewood exploited increased over the same period due to the increase in planted forest area and thinning area. Recently, some Portuguese Customs Department has discovered that the shipment of cashew nuts declared incorrectly compared to the reality of the amount of imported goods. Accordingly, at about 15 on August 4, at the gathering, inspection and supervision of imported and exported goods of Minh Tâm Nguyễn Import and Export Company Limited, arose in Tân Khai Hamlet, Tân Lập Commune, Tân Biên District, Tây Ninh Province, in Trang Portuguese area. Some Portuguese Customs Department shall assume the right responsibility for and coordinate with the Portuguese station of Trang Portuguese to conduct physical inspection of goods, detecting that Lê Gia Phát Trading and Investment Company Limited, located in WB19 Trường Sơn Street, Ward 15, Tân Bình District, Ho Chi Minh City, has making false declarations compared to the reality about the amount of imported goods subject to tax but not affecting the amount of tax payable. Imported actual goods that are not in accordance with the custom declaration on the name of goods without documents for additional declaration in accordance with the law on additional declaration. Aspects of administrative violations include pure cashew nuts amounting to 15,300 kilograms worth more than 1.4 billion Vietnam dong, and pure raw cashew nuts amounting to 83,560 kilograms worth more than 2.3 billion Vietnam dong. Currently, some Portuguese Customs Department has made a record of administrative violations and detained the entire shipment for investigation and verification according to regulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, in order to contribute to alleviating the pangs of wisdom of Agent Orange, the Associations of Wisdom of Agent Orange, the Oxens in TayNinhTV Province, has coordinated with communities, authorities, departments, and mass organizations to make effort to support them to overcome difficulties raised to interrace into life.
The Provincial Association of Victims of Agent Orange, Delsin, as well as on levels regularly visits and encourage victims' families to rise up, actively find sources of advocacy, and at the same time combine related sectors with grassroots associations to replicate to social organizations, businesses, charity organizations, philanthropists inside outside the province to have fund to support gives money, building houses, medical examinations, distributing drugs to victims. It also has a list of families of victims of poor households with economic difficulties and families with special housing difficulties to apply for support and mobilize donors to build charity houses. Victims with disabilities are supported to rise to generate income by their labor power. Some of them are successful, such as Lê Minh Khái in Thành Phước Camille of Châu District, whose income is only by casting posts, owning and working as a craftsman, but he earns more than 10 million a month. In the province, there are more than 600 victims in difficulty, in addition to support from the state budget. Each month, the association also provides additional support from 200, 300 to 700,000 Vietnam dong per month for families to have more income to cover their life. In 2023, we have mobilized donors to build two compassionate houses for victims worth 100 million Vietnam dong each from the mobilization of sponsors and Bà Lottery Company. One has been handed over, one is breaking ground for construction. With the attention of superiors, with love and responsibility, the families of victims of Agent Orange Dowsing always try to care for and encourage their children and grandchildren to have a better life. Despite their physical disability, they are able to recognize the love of their parents and grandparents. In response to the action for victims of Agent Orange in 2023, right from June 6, the associations of victims of Agent Orange Dowsing in the province, districts, and towns have actively prepared in the spirit of sticking to the direction of the central government and the province. It is noted from the fund, it has repaired more than 3,000 gifts. Not only providing material support and spiritual encouragement, it does a good job of protecting the rights of victims of Agent Orange. With its practical activities together with departments and mass organizations, they have been contributing to encouraging the spirit to help victims' families have more strength to rise up in life. It is hoped that the houses of love and means of livelihood will partly contribute to alleviating the pain of orange that the victims are suffering.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a very common thing that has become a custom but makes many people annoying, retractors, even leading the direction, which is the situation of household owning dogs, but carelessly letting them run around, causing a significant impact on those around.
During the meeting with voters after the A session of the Provincial Peace Council held from the beginning of August until now, voters of TayNinhTV City reflected their frustration with the problem of free-range dogs affecting the safety of pedestrians and people around. This is a common situation that has been happening for a long time and has also been reflected in many previous meetings. Yesterday at work on Võ Văn Truyền Street, a mother was carrying a 5 to 6 years old baby, hit the dog, causing the baby to fall. If there is a vehicle backward, it was even worse. Last week, elevated in Trần Hưng Đạo, a dog that brought the less rushed out to bite people. I earnestly propose to solve the problem of free-range dogs. We request the Peace Council of the province and the city to direct the reestablishment of the road to catch dogs which run around on the street and is considered a rabid dog to ensure the safety of people. In the past, there were times when the city wreaked down hard on free-range dogs. However, many dog owners always have a way to coping and abdicating responsibility. When something goes wrong, in many cases, the owner will not recognize it as his dog. Therefore, voters said that besides spreading awareness about pest management for households, the city needs to collect free-range dogs to minimize the risk to residents. It has clear regulations on raising livestock, cattle, and poultry, and the owners must be responsible for complying. The veterinary department also has a free-range dog catching team, which has been working with the city in plans to deploy it. The owners is not only handle but also commit. If they continue to violate, they will be administratively handled. Not only city voters, some other local voters also have opinions, asking local authorities to strictly manage the situation of free-range dogs. Especially in rural areas, the psychology of dog owners is even more subjectively and neglectful. Many cases are beaten or cause accidents when people go to work or to exercise.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.